Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys don't know me, my name is Faye, and today we are gonna try to finish some of the series that I'm currently in middle of. Quick disclaimer before I start the intro portion, I'm sorry for the way I look. Right now I am literally wearing a pajama shirt because it is like 11 p.m. and I just need to finish this video. But yeah, with that said, this is going to be a reading vlog in which I read 3 books that are part of a series. I am currently in middle of like 30 plus series. I know, it's bad. I am trying to make a conscious effort this year to continue or finish the series that I am currently in the middle of and avoid starting like million new series at the same time. And the 3 books and the 3 series that I'm gonna be reading today are A Court of Silver Flames, which is the 5th and also currently the last book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. So after reading this book, I have caught up with the ACOTAR series. Then I'm gonna be reading Chain of Thorns, which is the 3rd and last book in the Last Hours trilogy by Cassandra Clare. And to add a little bit more Sarah J. Maas into the mix, I'm also gonna be reading Heir, which is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. Yeah, I am excited but also a little bit nervous about all of these books. A Court of Silver Flames, I actually soft DNF'd like a year ago, I think. It has been a while. I read a good chunk of it. I think I read like over halfway through. I think I had like 150 or 200 pages left when I soft DNF'd the book, but I had been reading the book for so long at that point, and I was reading it physically, and when I was reading it, I wasn't in the mood to read anything physically, so I soft DNF'd the book a while ago, but I'm ready to get into it again, especially because talks about the book 6 have been fluttering around a lot more recently. Then Chain of Thorns is a book that I'm really nervous about because I love Cassandra Clare and I used to be the biggest Shadowhunters fan, but I haven't really been in the fandom for a really long time, and it has been like I think at least 2 or 3 years since I read the last book, which is Chain of Iron. So I don't remember too much about what has happened in the Last Hour series, book 1 and 2. But when I finish Chain of Thorns, I have officially finished that series. And I think I have also then caught up with all of the Shadowhunter books that are currently out. And then Heir is book that I'm excited about because a lot of people say that it is their favorite in the Throne of Glass series. I have been very slowly making my way through Throne of Glass. I think I've took like 2 years to read the first 2 books. I read the first book like 2 years ago, and then I read book 2 like a year ago or something like that. So I am excited to continue and hopefully finally get like obsessed and in love with the series to want to continue. And I know that I technically probably should read The Assassin's Blade before Heir, but we're doing things out of order apparently. But if you guys have any strong opinions about when I should read Assassin's Blade, let me know. Like, do you guys think I should read it after Heir, after any other book? Should I have already read it? Like, what's your guys' opinions and game plans for me and Assassin's Blade? Let me know. But enough yapping. Let's get to the vlog portion of this video. So, hello lovelies. I am just on my way to university. Let's hope filming this works. I've been having some issues with my SD card recently, but I just wanted to share that I chose my first book that I'm gonna be reading for this video. and that one is A Court of Silver Flames. Don't have it here with me right now because I actually borrowed it to a friend, but I decided to listen to the audiobook because I finished my previous audiobook. I was kind of hesitant between just continuing from where I left on or starting from the very beginning, but I found out that my audiobook app actually offers the graphic audiobooks, and I never listened to the graphic audiobooks for the rest of the ACOTAR series, so I decided that I want to try out the graphic audiobooks and just to fully experience the graphic audiobook. I'm gonna start from the beginning, which honestly might be good because it has been like a year since I last read this book. So yeah, I'm just getting ready for uni, doing my skincare, doing my makeup, and then I'll be listening to my audiobook while I do so. I just want to hype this sunscreen. This is my favorite sunscreen of all time. Just got home. It is like 10 p.m, so very late, but I had a university lecture and then I was studying for a while, and then I went to the movies, and I've been listening to my audiobook of A Court of Silver Flames throughout the day, mostly like in the bus and stuff, and also when I was eating dinner at school. And I'm like 3.5 hours into the graphic audiobook. It is really good. I obviously have read this part of the story before, and so far I actually have remembered everything that happens in the book. So none of the things that happened were like, oh my god, I did not remember that. The graphic audiobook is just so good. It's nice to listen to it. It's honestly like a movie in your ears, which I love. I've always loved like full cast audiobooks, and this is just, you know, on another level with all of the sound effects and music and stuff like that. So yeah, so far enjoying my reread-ish of A Court of Silver Flames. Also, this has nothing to do with the video, but I wanted to talk about the movie that I went to watch today, which is Flow. If you have not seen it, please do. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. It was lovely. I cried through the whole freaking thing, like literally from the start to the end. There was tears in my eyes. So yeah, I don't even know what to say, except it was such a beautiful animation. Literally, I don't know why it is not talked about more, but 10 out of 10. Literally 10 out of 10. But yeah, since it is so late, I'm gonna go take off my makeup and then head to bed. Not part of the video or like this video necessarily, but I'm also reading Once Upon a Broken Heart as a physical book, so I will probably read like a chapter or two before bed. But that is not continuing a series. That is, in fact, starting a new series. Hello, lovelies. I am 5%, no, not 5%, oh my god, 5 hours into the audiobook of Court of Silver Flames, and I'm getting to the spicy scenes again. Not necessarily spicy, but you know that I just listened to the first scene where Nesta and Cassian aren't at each other's throats, you know, and I love it. I love it. I had forgotten how much I freaking love Cassian. So this has been fun and I'm excited for my reread. I'm gonna continue. Hi Ash! Hello! I'm gonna continue listening while I go to the city center. I just ate some dinner. I had some pesto pasta, and now I need to run to the city center to go get my meds because I had not realized that I've run out. And then I'm gonna go to the university library to study a little bit. Yeah. I know! Ash said, please don't leave. Please only hang out with us all day. Yes. But yeah, I will give you guys an update on A Court of Silver Flames whenever I have one. Hello, lovelies. I have been doing some spring cleaning, I guess. No, honestly, it's just weekend cleaning at my apartment, and I've been listening to my audiobook at the same time. And I actually just finished the part 1 of the graphic audiobook, so I am like 50% through the book since the part 1 is 10 hours and part 2 is 10 hours. I'm still really loving it. I feel like kind of reading through this part the second time makes me appreciate Nesta as a character a whole lot more than I used to before. Like, I've always liked Nesta. I never was one of the like Nesta haters, but reading through this again just makes me appreciate it so much more, how well written it is, why Nesta is the way she is, you know? Like, the way she's carrying all that guilt and self-hatred is coming out as like aggressive and rude behavior is, I just feel like, so well written, and I've been really enjoying that. The second time I've been reading through this series, yeah, I don't really have any other you know, updates, except I'm gonna continue cleaning and I'm gonna continue on to the part 2 of the graphic audiobook. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I can maybe, hopefully, oh, that was my spirit city. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I can maybe, hopefully, finish this book by the end of the week, because it's Friday right now. So I think I can listen to 10 hours in 3 days. I am 2 hours into the audiobook part 2, so 12 and a half hours total for the audiobook. And I think this is the part that I have not read before. At least the things that are happening right now don't feel familiar, which is very exciting because I have gotten a lot of spoilers actually, so I know kind of a lot of what happens at the end portion of this book, but I'm still really excited to get to it for the first time, and I'm still really freaking enjoying this. Like, it's honestly just a full 5 stars read right now. I love Nesta, I love Cassian, and also I really like the plot. I've always liked the kind of like political intrigue of ACOTAR world. Yeah, having a really good time. It is kind of late though. I just finished baking my cookies, so I think I'm gonna listen just a little bit more before heading to bed because I have work tomorrow. I just finished a quart of Silver Flames. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I will give you guys an actual final review when I stop crying. Okay, hello. I have an emotional support kitten. I freaking loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Tied with A Court of Mist and Fury, this might have been my favorite ACOTAR book. It has been so long since I've read the other ACOTAR books, I can't say for sure. I just really love Nesta. I feel like her and her character development were the highlight of this book. I just love having a main character who's raw and angry and sometimes ugly, and like ugly on the inside, you know, and just, you know, someone who has so many flaws. No, don't go. And works so hard to overcome them, you know? Like, I love Feyre so much, but I just appreciate Nesta and her story so freaking much. I've always loved the kind of like platonic relationships in ACOTAR books. Like, you know, the whole friendship or like family type relationship between Feyre and her friends. The friendships that Nesta makes, you know, the female friendships in this book are also just absolutely amazing. I love this book with my whole heart. I truly don't have any negative feedback. I just wholly enjoyed my time reading it. I can't say that I wish that I'd read this book before, because if you guys didn't know, I kind of softy NF'd it like a year ago. But I obviously I kind of wish that I had read it before, but also at the same time, I feel like now was such a perfect time to read it because I was able to enjoy it so much. Ash is loving the scratches. He doesn't know about the book, but he loves the scratches. Can't wait for the next ACOTAR book. I hope it comes soon. So, hello lovelies. It is the next day and I am about to leave to a friend's place. We're gonna be cooking together and then gonna play some D&D. But since I'm taking the bus, I obviously need new audiobook for the trip. I'm honestly really in the mood for more fantasy. I've been kind of in a fantasy slump for the past year, I would say. But now that I finally started reading a little bit of fantasy again with A Court of Silver Flames, my cookies are stuck to the plate. Yeah, I'm feeling more fantasy, so I think I am gonna continue on by reading Chain of Thorns next as an audiobook. I will actually probably read both of the books kind of at the same time, since I am about to finish my other physical book, and then I will start Fire as a physical book. But I think the video will be more easy to follow if I kind of put these clips in the order of the book and not chronologically. So yeah, if just mentioning that if you guys see like same outfits or see me mentioning doing the same things 2 times in this video, the last 2 books are happening at the same time, kind of. But we're gonna start with Chain of Thorns, and I will start the audiobook today when I leave. I read recaps for the first 2 books yesterday because I did not remember anything that happened in those. I've read the recaps. Hopefully I will not be too confused still. I've also never read any of the other Last Hours books as audiobooks. I think I read both of them physically. We'll also see how the audiobooks is, but I'm excited. I like being back in my fantasy era, kind of, even though I love romance and I love reading romance books. It's fun to broaden my horizons again. Hi lovelies! I just got home from my friend's place. Today's D&D session was really a session to hurt my character and do a little lore drop, which was fun. And on my way to my friend's place and on the way back, I managed to listen about an hour of the audiobook for Chain of Thorns. So I'm definitely not far into it, considering the fact that the audiobook is almost 30 hours, I think. But so far, I am pretty well caught up with like understanding what's happening and stuff. The only chapters, or I guess like sections of chapters I've been confused with are Lucy's chapters. I'm gonna be like really vague. I don't want to give spoilers, but I did not remember what happened to Lucy at the end of last book. So when we got her first chapter, I was like, huh? Like, what's going on? What? Why? But I think I'm starting to understand just from the like kind of like context clues in her chapters. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. No big feelings about it so far, but that I feel like is understandable considering the fact that I have not read any Shadowhunter books in like I would say 2 years. So I'm not really in the loop for the series anymore. Hi lovelies. It is many days later. I just have not felt like listening to Chain of Thorns, but I finally picked up the audiobook again tonight. Don't remember at what hour I last updated you guys, or like what hour I had left on in the last clip, but I am currently 4 hours and 37 minutes in. And when I started listening to the audiobook today, I was like, I'm gonna be so honest, I was forcing myself. I haven't been kind of grabbed by this story yet, so whenever I have a moment of maybe being able to listen to an audiobook, I just choose not to. I don't even listen to anything else. Like, I don't even listen to music or podcasts. I just don't listen to anything, which is weird for me because usually my ADHD brain needs like some sort of background noise all the time. But I've been just kind of put in such a slump by this audiobook that I just don't want to listen to anything. So I forced myself to start listening to it again tonight, and at first I was just kind of listening to it, you know. I don't have any strong feelings toward this book. I still don't. And I also kind of like started to realize that I remember a lot less of the last 2 books than I thought I would. Like when I started this audiobook, I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually surprised by how much I remember. No. Cordelia is in a situation in this book, and I don't remember how that happened. Every time they talk about like Cordelia's deal, I'm just like, I don't remember when this happened and how this happened, and it's just very confusing to me. But then again, I literally just
finished listening to a scene. Matthew Fairchild, y'all. I love him so much. My heart hurts for him and for what I know is coming up based off of just like the family trees that we've seen even before these books were published. So my heart hurts for him, but at the same time, y'all, he's so good. He's so charming. I love him so much. I wish things went differently for him. I really do. I'm trying so hard to not be spoilery, but y'all, one of the end games in this series is not the end game for me. Nah. So yeah, Matthew, right now, I feel like the highlight of this book for me. Everything else I'm just kind of okay about. I'm gonna continue listening to the audiobook and we'll see if I have another update today or sometimes later. But yeah, right now this book is sitting firmly at like 3-star territory, which I feel like is 1000% a me problem and not the book problem, because I feel like I'm kind of growing out of this series, but also the perfectionist in me is like, I cannot not finish this series. When your ship isn't shipping. I knew this was gonna happen, but I'm still so disappointed. Am I a little bit petty for thinking about just letting this book go and DNFing it just for this? I am. I'm not gonna do it. But what I am gonna do is go on AO3 tonight and hope that someone else thinks like I do. Hi lovelies. I am fresh out of the shower, as you can probably see. And I'm also sorry if you can hear my laundry machine in the background. But I have made a lot of progress with Chain of Thorns. Let me check. I am almost 16 hours in, which is over halfway through. I am finally starting to get a little bit more into the story. I feel like, the plot is starting to pick up. The first, I would say like 100 pages of this book were very slow paced. I feel like it's partly because we have so many POVs and like we kind of have to set up all of those POVs and all of those different stories, that the first half was, or like not first half, but like first thirds of the book felt very, very slow. But now the book is starting to pick up. I am starting to feel a lot more interested in the book. I just kind of want to keep listening all the time. But I cleaned the whole day today, so I had plenty of time to listen a bunch of the audiobook, and I'm hoping to I have I think 12 hours left, 12 or 11, so I'm hoping to maybe finish it during the weekend. It's Friday today, so I'm hoping to maybe finish it during the weekend, but we'll see. I just cried in public because of this book. There is a certain thing that happens to a cutie pie character that got me almost sobbing in the bus. At least this book is managing to get feelings out of me. Though I gotta say, I am feeling a lot more connected to the book and to the story now. I feel like I'm almost starting to get nostalgic, I've been reading the Shadowhunter books for such a long time that it's really nostalgic to kind of feel like I want to devour one. I haven't felt that in a long time. So I had a rough start with this book, but I am in the end really, really, really enjoying it. Hi lovelies, just like a last update for Chain of Thorns. I finished the book. Oh my god, I look bold. Let me do that. I finished the book a few days ago now, actually. To be exactly blunt, I I'm on my period, and when I'm on my period, I'm always super sad and depressed. So I wasn't feeling like filming like an update, but I did finish Chain of Thorns. And even though I had a rocky start with the book, you know, it was almost like putting me in a slump. And I even thought about DNFing. I ended up enjoying it. I ended up giving Chain of Thorns 4 stars. Honestly, mostly just because when I was finishing the book, I got such nostalgia for my teenage years when I was reading the Shadowhunter books, and they were my favorite series in the world, and I would just like gobble up everything that Cassandra Clare put out in that world. You know, I've been reading the Shadowhunter books since I was 12, and I'm turning 26 this year. So I've been living in this world for 14 years now, and even though I have kind of grown over it in the last few years, being back in the world again just made me super nostalgic, you know, for the younger Fae who honestly found the love for reading through these books. And also, one of the biggest reasons why I started reading in English, for example, and discovered the whole booktube and book community in general was because not all of the Shadowhunter books have been translated into Finnish. I feel like in the end I cannot make like an objective review of the book. Like, I still have no idea if it was actually a good book or not, or if I even enjoyed it that much or not. But I gave it 4 stars 1000% for all of the nostalgic and fuzzy feelings it gave me. I'm still mad that my ship didn't sail. I had so much fun binge reading it for the last 2 days that I was reading it. I think during the last 2 days that I was reading it, I read or listened like 8 hours of the audiobook per day. So I was definitely like getting into the groove and just kind of like wanted to keep listening to know what happens. Yeah, I cannot give you guys an objective review, but just know that I loved it and I loved the experience of reading it. And I am low-key thinking about maybe rereading The Infernal Devices, because that one has always been my favorite in the Shadowhunters world. I even have a tattoo for it. Can't really see it, but I have a tattoo that says "We live and breathe words," which is a quote from Infernal Devices. I read it in 2019. I finished it January 2019. That has been 6 freaking years. Oh, okay. Okay. We might do a reread. So if you guys want a vlog of me rereading The Infernal Devices for the first time in 6 years, let me know. And this has kind of revived my interest in the Shadowhunter world in general. I really did not like the Dark Artifices, so after reading that trilogy, I was like, okay, I'm done with like kind of like this portion of my life. I'm not interested in reading the, I think it's Wicked Powers, the next trilogy that's gonna come out. But I might give it a chance. But yeah, that was a long ramble of me and my nostalgia. I hope you guys got something out of it, and if you didn't, I'm sorry. Hello, lovelies. I have started to read the 3rd book of this blog, which is Heir by Sarah J. Maas, and I am 30 pages in, so definitely still at the beginning. But guys, this is so bad. This is so hard. This is horrible. I just want to drop this book and continue Once Upon a Broken Heart. That is not a theme of this blog, but I finished Once Upon a Broken Heart like 2 days ago, and it's been all I've thought about ever since then. And I have the Ballad of Never After right here, and I just want to read this so bad. But I will be a good girl and stick to my TBR and read this first.
But yeah, I am 30 pages in, so I can't say a lot, but I am enjoying it. We met Rowan for the first time, which is fun, because although I am relatively spoiler free for this series, I know who Rowan is. I know who he is going to be in the story. We've met him for the first time, and also I just saw that the next chapter I am gonna be reading is from the perspective of Manon, who I also know is gonna be an essential character. I don't know that much about her, but I know that she's gonna be a big character in the series. So it's fun kind of finally getting into the part of the story that all of the hardcore fans are talking about, all of the revelations and all of the new characters, stuff like that. I feel like I will finally be in the story and in the fandom after reading this book, because from what I've understood, there's some really big revelations and stuff in this book. So after I've read this, there's hopefully maybe a little bit less spoilers that I have to avoid. It is very late right now. It's 1 a.m. So I'm not going to be reading this right now, but I just wanted to do a little checkup and a starting clip for this book of the vlog, and I will see you maybe tomorrow or in whenever I next have something to update. I will see you guys then. Hi lovelies. I am 144 pages into heir. So far, it hasn't really gripped me. I'm enjoying it, but it's when I put it down, I don't feel hype to pick it up again, It's right now my biggest motivation to read this is because after reading this, I can start The Ballad of Never After. Which is not good, but I'm hoping that maybe I will start enjoying this a little bit later. Right now, the first 140 pages have been very much just setting up everything, and since this book has so many POVs and we have to all of the POVs have their own stories that they're doing, we're also it takes a lot of pages to set up all of those different stories from all of those different POVs. And I feel my biggest struggle right now is also that I really do not care about Dorian's POV or Kaol's POV. Every time I see their name, I'm just okay, fine, I'll read it. But those are just, I don't really care. Selena's POV is okay. I'm enjoying it. Although I'm this is horrible to say, but I'm kind of sick of her being so up and down with her mood. One moment she's just angry and badass again, and then the second moment she's okay, I'll just lay here and die. I don't know. That's a little frustrating. And Manon is just... she's intriguing, but we don't really know much about her yet. And that story is also just only beginning. Rowan is an asshole right now, but I know that I will probably end up liking him a lot more when the story progresses. Honestly, my favorite parts have been the parts where I'm trying to be vague. I'll be vague so that there's no spoilers. But the moments where Selena is working in the kitchen, those have been my favorite moments so far, because I love the other kitchen stuff. I think they're fun. But yeah, I will continue reading. I'm hoping to maybe get up to page 200 today, which I think is very doable, although it is past midnight right now, but my sleep schedule is just it's a mess. Hello lovelies. It is March 30th, 11:25 p.m. and I am halfway through Heir of Fire. So, you know what? I'll be damned if I do not finish this book, because this is the last book on my April TBR. I will probably go a lot over midnight, but we're gonna cheat and say that I finished it during March, because you know, technically in my brain it will still be April. Have I talked about March? I might have talked about March. Anyway, in my brain technically it will still be April because I haven't gone to the bed in middle. So yeah, I'm gonna stay up as long as it takes me to finish this much of the book. I think I have 257 pages. I had to go check Discord because I updated my friend about this. But yeah, 257 pages left. I'm enjoying this book. I've been definitely enjoying it the more I get into it. But I'm not going to lie that I also do not remember when's the last time I've spent such a long time reading a book. Let me check on my story graph when I started this book. I started this book 14th of April. So I started this book 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it usually does not take me 2 weeks to finish a book, but I'm not going to lie, it was this combined with Chain of Thorns was putting me in a little bit of a slump this month. But I ended up really enjoying Chain of Thorns, so I hope I end up enjoying this too. Y'all don't understand. This is the first time. I know, no, shocking. This is the first time I've actually read the words "Who did this to you?" in a book. And it hit just as much as I thought it would. I'm dying. Suddenly I'm so into this book. I look like an egg, but then again, it is 4 a.m. I have been actively reading for like 2.5 hours, and I am on page 450. So I have about 100 pages left. Yeah, I've been reading kind of like on and off. Like I read for 50 pages and then I watch one YouTube video and then I continue reading again. Because even though I love reading, I have to be honest, my ADHD brain cannot handle like constant physical reading. That has been my tactic. And I think I might be able to finish this book in like hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know. Depends how quickly I fly through this, because honestly I'm really loving this. I'm having deja vu to my experience of Chain of Thorns, where at first I was like meh, but then I ended up really loving it. Yeah, I'm starting to really get intrigued. I have to be honest, I was a little bit slumpy with this book at the beginning, but now things are happening and the plot is getting interesting and I'm just having a lot of fun. I have to be absolutely honest, I love Selena and Rowan, but I'm still a little bit confused how they went from where they were at the beginning of the book to where they are now. I feel like the change in their relationship was very quick. But yeah, I read my 50 pages, so I think I'm gonna be watching another YouTube video. Next up we have Jamie Falk, and her reading blog of reading new releases for a week. So that's fun. Yeah, I'm just honestly vibing. Like, yes, it is 4 a.m, but
I'm just vibing. I was talking about this with my friends, and I was saying that like my natural rhythm is very late, that like I am 1000% a night owl, so this is just very comfy for me to be awake in the middle of the night. And it is a little bit funny that today is Labor Day, which is Vappu in Finnish, and it is a huge celebration in Finnish, especially for students like me. Vappu is like the main, celebration for students. But what am I doing? Instead of going out and having fun with my friends, even though I don't really have university friends, I'm here catching up with my TBR, because not included in this vlog was that I actually also read another book today, because I finished the whole audiobook for XOXO today. So more about that in my wrap up. But yeah, today I've been just reading while all of my other fellow students are out getting drunk. You know when you're just in the good part of the story, and then it suddenly turns to the one POV that you just don't care about. Hi, Ash. It is 6:19 a.m. I just finished Heir. I kinda want to pick up the next book right now. Although the next book I should probably read is The Assassin's Blade, so I wouldn't get much plot-wise going forward from this. When I started reading Throne of Glass, I was a little bit disappointed because ACOTAR pulled me out of like an year-long reading slump, and then Throne of Glass just didn't hit the same. The first two books were entertaining, but just didn't hit the same. But this one, I had a slow start with this book as well. But now that the kind of like, I feel like overall plot is starting, I'm hooked. I'm intrigued. I'm obsessed. Right now my feelings are that I will give this book a 4-star, just because the beginning was so rough. Honestly, if the book had gone the way it went for the first 100 pages, it would probably be a 3-star book, which I think is the rating I gave the other 2 books I've read so far. But this book definitely got better by the end. One of my friends who has read this series said that this is like the best book in the series, so I'm intrigued to see if I will agree. But yeah, it's definitely at least the best of the 3. I'm really happy that I ended up really enjoying it, because I was kind of afraid. I have the whole series purchased, so I was a little bit afraid that if I ended up not liking this book either, or like not being obsessed with it, if it would feel just like super sluggish and boring, like battling myself through the last 5 books. But right now, at least, I'm excited to continue. Now I will go update my story graph and then I will go to bed.
Okay, vlogging portion is over. Let's just quickly do an outro and go through all of the books that I read in this video. So I started by reading A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, and I had a really good time. I really enjoyed this book. I loved the graphic audio version. It was so good, and I ended up giving A Court of Silver Flames 5 stars. The next book that I read was Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare, and this book I gave 4 stars to. I had a really rocky start with this one. It was almost putting me in a slump when I was reading it, but in the end I ended up just feeling so nostalgic about this book. So I don't really have an objective review for this book, but I gave it 4 stars because I had a fun time feeling nostalgic about the Shadowhunters world. And the third and the last book that I read was Heir by Sarah J. Maas, and this one was also kind of like a rocky start, you know. This together with Chain of Thorns, because I was reading these two at the same time, was putting me in a reading slump. Just like with Chain of Thorns, the ending was something that really saved this book for me. I think for the last 200-ish pages, I was really hooked, I was having fun, and I rated this book 4 stars as well. But yeah, that's it for this video. It is a huge one, so I hope you guys had some good snacks while you watched this, and remember to hydrate. I will definitely do more reading vlogs in the future. I already have a few in the works right as we speak. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I post once a week, sometimes more. And if you made it all the way here, comment down an sword emoji so that I know that you are a real trooper and pushed through like this humongous video, which if you did, I appreciate it so much. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, so bye!